And obedience is never about timing everything perfectly. You let God worry about the timing. You worry just about taking that next step. Well, hey there, friends. Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode number 34. We're going to talk about why do we keep lying to ourselves about waiting on the right timing, especially when it comes to building business, growing a business, focusing on business, etc. Yes, I am putting on some makeup. You're watching on YouTube. So I just realized, okay, I started this without I started this and totally didn't have myself put together. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Hi guys. And no, I'm not wearing a curtain or a tablecloth. I am obsessed, just so you know, with this cute jacket that I have on, which was viral on Amazon. And sometimes I'm like, okay, are people just saying it's viral on Amazon? Is it really as good as people say it is? It actually really is. I love it. And my husband loves it. So there's that. So there, I got the lip gloss on. I told you about my cute coat. Now let's talk about right timing. Okay. All right. So friends, Jason and I have this joke. For those of you that are new to my podcast, Jason's my husband of nearly 29 years. Lots of kids, lots of years, lots of changes, lots of ups and downs. Still the guy that makes my heart beat fast every time he walks in a room. So we have joked for years and years and years that one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves in our marriage is after this season, it's going to really slow down. After this season, with small kids, it's going to really slow down. After this season of getting the kids graduated, it's going to really slow down. After this season of moving our boys back from Arizona last spring, it's going to really slow down. After this season of, a wedding last July for one of our kids, it's going to really slow down. Okay. In case no one has told you yet, it never slows down. It never slows down. Our life has never slowed down. And we are mid 50s right now. I'm getting ready to turn 55. That's right. 55. Double fives. And there's no slowing down. And I used to think to myself, how is it that my parents would say things like they're so busy? I'm like, you're not busy. How can you be busy? You don't have any kids at home. How can you be so busy? And now we have, we've launched kids. We've got a kiddo married. We've got 3 adult children. And I feel like we're still so busy. So if you are somebody who's also lying to yourself saying after this season, it'll really slow down and I can focus on business. I can focus on the next steps. Let me just tell you, you're lying to yourself. I love you enough to tell you. If you're watching on YouTube, give me a comment below. If you're my age, back me up here. They're lying to themselves, aren't they? Because it doesn't slow down. And so, I think when it comes to business, we often keep putting off the next step, even when we know what it is that we're supposed to do. But why do we do that, right? So I think number one, there is that illusion of perfect timing. And we keep telling ourselves, we'll take the next step in learning finally how to use Jen's Equip 360 software, in finally figuring out how to do TikTok. We'll do that when things finally calm down, when our schedule finally opens up. We think we need more clarity before we can move forward. You don't need more clarity. You need more guts. Okay. You don't need more clarity. You need more courage. I mean, sometimes the courage and the guts come because of clarity, but often we're just lying to ourselves saying, once I really know better what it is that I need to do, then I'll do it. But we forget that we figure out how to do something in the middle of doing it. And so the whole time we're telling ourselves that there will be a right time, it's like we're just keep kicking the can down the road. And, I've had people come to me before and ask, just because I'm a woman who likes to pray. One of the things I just got done the whole prayer call for a bunch of our clients. And if you're not one of our clients and wish you were, of course, you can go to she'sequipped.com, become a client there. But we have a prayer call once a month. And so I just got done. I went 20 minutes longer than I anticipated on a prayer call, praying for different women, their businesses, etc. And, but I also love praying for women to get pregnant. It's just something I've always loved to pray for. And, I used to have women that would ask me though, how do you know when the perfect time is to have a baby? And I would tell them, there is no perfect time to have a baby. There's always going to be something, a financial challenge, challenge with a family member, the possibility of moving. You don't feel like gaining weight right now because you just finally lost. Like, there's never going to be a perfect time to have a baby, and there's never going to be a perfect time to build a business. So let's just establish that, okay? I think sometimes we put off the next step, even when you know what you need to be doing next in your business, because sometimes we think like the delay is wisdom. We're being responsible in praying just a little bit more. We're being extra patient. We're waiting on God. Listen, if you really are waiting on God, like, high five, kudos to you. But sometimes I think we use that as an excuse. Because sometimes God's already given us direction on what to do, and we just don't like it. We don't like what we're being told. We don't want to do it. We don't want to be obedient, etc. So now we're gonna wait for 10 confirmations. Okay. Sometimes we say we're still praying about it. We're waiting on God. When the truth is we just want more time. And sometimes we really are waiting on God. Sometimes God's waiting on us. Let's just be honest. And so, going ahead with something when we feel like the timing's not right, when we feel like we need to know more, etc., I know that doesn't feel safe. It feels like we're risking failure. It feels like, taking some action when we're not entirely sure. Yes, we're risking failure, but we're also like putting ourselves in the spotlight, which feels very vulnerable. And for those of you who are wired a lot like me, vulnerability doesn't feel good. Okay. Some of you enjoy the Enneagram and have taken the Enneagram personality profile. Some of you have not, and that's okay. I mean, to each their own. When you are, get to a certain stage in your walk with Jesus, I think that we can eat the chicken and spit out the bones. So we don't need to agree with everything. We don't need to agree with the roots of where something came from, but we can still use tools that are in the world for God-given purpose. Okay. So I personally enjoy the Enneagram, and I'm an Enneagram 3. So if you are an Enneagram 3, which I find that most business owners that I coach with, most, not all, but the big majority are Enneagram 3s or Enneagram 8s. You're either wired like me or wired by my husband, which makes sense since my husband and I own 4 businesses. We have 2 Airbnbs still, planning on getting one at Lake of the Ozarks this summer. I have my coaching business, of course. Jason has Fairway Finest, which is his golf brand. And he also has a Turo business, which is like Airbnbs for vehicles, that we have 3 vehicles that are currently, always being rented out. So Enneagram 8s and Enneagram 3s, we tend to be business owners. But I can tell you, if you're an Enneagram 3, that you don't like feeling vulnerable, which means that often you will use, I just need a little more time. I'm waiting for the perfect time. I'm waiting on God. I'm praying, blah, blah. You will use those as an excuse because you do not like feeling vulnerable. Enneagram 3s, we do not like feeling vulnerable. And one of the reasons is because as an Enneagram 3 on the personality profile, we tend to only do things we already know we're going to be good at. Just the way we're wired. So vulnerability is not real high on the things that we like to do. And lying to ourselves about perfect timing is how we avoid sometimes vulnerability. Okay. Because comfort always feels safer than vulnerability and forcing ourselves to grow. So how do we break that pattern of like waiting for the perfect timing? Well, first of all, I think it's important you recognize that you are intentionally delaying things. And, the Bible talks about anytime we can shine a light on something, the enemy loses its stronghold. Anything that is of darkness, when the light comes in, it just loses its power. So find somebody, a safe business person, a close friend who understands your business, but find somebody that you can talk to and just literally admit to the fact that you are delaying this. You are kicking the can down the road. And then I want you to really examine and ask the Holy Spirit to show you, what is it that I'm really afraid of? Because I know what I need to do next and I keep delaying it. What is it that I'm actually really afraid of? Failure? Or am I afraid of success? Am I afraid of vulnerability? I mean, there's a million things we can be afraid of, right? But once you really know what it is that you're afraid of, I think that helps. And then I want you to think about not like the next 5-mile plan or 5-year plan when it comes to taking a step, but how can you just take one step in that direction? Just one. Let me give you, for instance, when Jason and I, we had three biological children and we knew that we were going to adopt a fourth. I've known that I was going to adopt a child since the time I was probably 16 years old. And I didn't know like instinctively through God. It's not like God like spoke from heaven. I just knew in my knower, I'm going to adopt. This is a want of mine. I believe I'm wired for it based on my upbringing of not knowing my biological father. And my best friend all through high school was one of 10 adopted children. I just instinctively knew that I would be adopting one day. Okay. So we had a miscarriage was our first pregnancy. They were trying to determine if I was having twins for pregnancy number one. It resulted in a miscarriage, which was heartbreaking. Then we had Noah. Then we had Easton. Less than 22 months later, we have another baby. Now I look back at those pictures. I'm like, I had two kids under two. What was I thinking? I was thinking my husband didn't know how to keep his hands off me. That's what I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I jest, Easton. I'm sorry. I just grossed you out. Easton takes care of the YouTube channel. So trust me, I was a willing participant. But then we had another miscarriage while we were trying to get pregnant with Ava Grace Allwood. And then we decided we were going to adopt for our fourth and final. And, but there never is like perfect timing, right? What do we do? And so here was kind of the cry of my heart. We were hoping to adopt very quickly. It took us 8 years. Okay. 8 years before God answered that prayer and the desires of our heart. But I did just continue taking our family one step forward to that direction. What do you mean, Jen? Well, when we finally decided, hey, it is time and we're going to adopt, Ava was a newborn. I was still nursing her. So I just started requesting information from China, from Romania, from different places in South America. I just started reaching out to different agencies. I just started conversations with people. Yes, while I was even nursing my daughter is when I was requesting information to adopt from China. I can remember it specifically. It was in the middle of the night. I was watching infomercials, nursing a baby when my husband snored peacefully next to me. God bless. And so it was a step in that direction. We waited 2 years with two adoption agencies in Kansas City to adopt a newborn. And then Jason and I decided we were going to transition to try to adopt out of the foster care system. And we didn't know if we were ready for that, if that was the right next step or whatever. We just took the step in that direction. We just made the phone call. We just took the class. We just were willing to take a step in that direction. I began to buy things for the said child. I believed that it would be a girl. I just knew in my knower that it was going to be a girl that we adopted, even though we said we were open to either for a while. Then eventually we said, or we said a girl for a while, but then eventually we said we were open to anything. I still knew in my knower it's going to be a girl. So I have upstairs the outfit that we bought for the child that we never actually adopted because we ended up adopting Ari, who is a long distance relative of mine. And she was 4 when we got her and I had newborn clothes, but we bought books on adoption to give to our child one day. We just started with like taking steps in that direction. So if you find yourself lying to yourself about perfect timing and stalling, I'm telling you, just take one step because you can build momentum through like those little steps forward. And then suddenly you end up with an adopted child 8 years later and you wonder like, how did I even get here? Well, all journeys like that begin with just one small step. So listen, we got to be obedient when God tells us to, because delayed obedience is disobedience. And obedience is never about timing everything perfectly. You let God worry about the timing. You worry just about taking that next step because God can work with messy timing, messy action, messy inaction. He can totally work with that. But you don't have to feel ready to be obedient. And if you keep waiting in your business, in life, in whatever, you're just going to stay stuck where you are. I promise you. People are like, how is it that you do X, Y, and Z? Well, I start moving in that direction. Lord, I don't know if we're going to buy our first Airbnb, but I'm just going to kind of start pretending that we are. I don't know if God's going to let us buy another Airbnb, this one at the Lake of the Ozarks this spring or this summer, but I'm already bringing things home from our other Airbnbs. I've already got the Instagram account purchased, signed up, and started. Like I just start walking in the direction, regardless of what the timing is. So let this be a nudge to some of you to like move because there's never perfect timing. And you have no idea what God can do with your obedience and what kind of a timeline he wants to be on. And so if you are someone who finds yourself making up excuses about timing, you'll build your business when the kids are older. You'll build the business after you have a kiddo. You'll build your business, after they're home for summer break or whatever. Like if you find yourself constantly giving yourself excuses, especially as it pertains to timing, I want you to join me on a free 3-day training series that I have coming up. Okay. This is so you can finally stop delaying and take some action that you need in your business specifically with the support that you need. So I want you to go to this link. Go to jenniferallwood.com/no more excuses. Okay. jenniferallwood.com/no more excuses, because I'm telling you, everything changes when you quit believing your own BS. Everything changes when you quit believing your own excuses. So it's starting on March 10th at 10 a.m. CST, and we're going to be an hour a day for those 3 days. And I want you to go grab a seat. It's totally free, jenniferallwood.com/no more excuses, because I don't want you buying your own excuses anymore. And I want to help you get past that delay in timing. I want to help you to be more obedient on the side of heaven to what God is calling you to and in the timing he's calling you to it. So again, it's jenniferallwood.com/no more excuses. I will plan on seeing you there, my friends. All right. Talk soon. Bye-bye. Easton, sorry to say that about Daddy not keeping his hands off me. It's true, though. It's true, though.